That's Peggy. And let's continue in that wonderful state of awareness or consciousness that Peggy said. And pray in this moment in a place of opening. That truly what is taking place here tonight is a gift to our planet. For the conflicts going on within our world at this time in Egypt or Tunisia or wherever they may be, let us know that what we are doing here tonight is making a difference for resolution and for peace to emerge. For we choose to take a stance for peace to come forward. Not that we need to tell anyone how to do it, but rather stand in a place to know that heaven does prevail upon this earth at this time, and know that it moves through our world leaders. Know that peace moves through the leaders in appropriate positions. There is a sense of something good that is actually taking place, and what is taking place here tonight is adding to this expanding awareness that peace is a possibility and does prevail. So knowing that we are being active this evening, we go forth opening up to the wonderful gifts that come through our speakers and our singers and our presenters, knowing that we are witnessing something profoundly good. And so it is. Amen. So good evening. And thank you for being here tonight. I'm honored that you have chosen to unite in this time with what is going on in our planet and our world. And peace is a very beautiful thing. It is something that transcends denominations and politics. And tonight we are coming together to unite in the possibility of peace, and brought together some wonderful speakers from our area and singers to help stir our soul. Tonight we are participating with more than a dozen other nations, more than 150 different cities, in this season for nonviolence. It is the 14th annual season for nonviolence, and in these 14 years, all 50 states' governors have put forth a proclamation. Today at the United Nations this afternoon came forth a new proclamation in support of the season for nonviolence. The season for nonviolence is the 64 days that begins in the commemoration of Gandhi's assassination, which was January 30th, and progresses to April 4th, commemorating the anniversary of when Martin Luther King was assassinated. And what's interesting is this idea came up in the backyard of Arun Gandhi, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, and a group of the Association of Global New Thought, wondering what can we do to help make a difference? And the idea of not just a one day, but a season. Of course, peace is something that should be experienced all the time, but a season in the 64 days. And in talking with the Kings, Yolanda King, the daughter, just was excited by the idea. You know, she was the first to share about what a grand idea that was. And to be able to have it launched from the UN was incredible. One of the seasons when I was there, I can remember presenting at the UN, and what was the most powerful moment of that day was children that they brought in, young teens from war-torn nations. At that time it was Bosnia and Serbia. You had Rwanda and the Sudan, and these kids, we asked them to share just one word of what was taken from them because of war. And just to listen to these kids, one at a time, say one word. And young girls say, we asked them what they lost, and the girl said, I lost my mom to war. Another one said, I lost my comfort. Another one said, I lost my peace. Another one said, I lost my brother. Another one said, I lost my family. Another one said, I lost my language. Another one said, I lost my memory. Another one said, my laughter, and the list goes on, and it's just heartbreaking. And just in that moment, I can remember committing myself, saying, you know what, I am going to be about peace upon this planet. And the thing about peace is that it is very active, and what we're doing this evening is a very active thing. And there are a lot of people that made this evening happen, and I want to say thank you to all the volunteers that pulled this evening off. I want to say thank you to the wonderful booths that are out there, and when we're done tonight, I encourage you to go look at all the individuals who are sharing their ideas in support of peace. But a special thank you to two individuals that started months ago to create this evening, and that is Joanne Wolf and Sharon De Leon. If you two could just stand up so we could say thank you to you two. They're in the back. They held a vision, and they made this very possible. Thank you, you guys. And also to all the presenters and the musicians tonight, they're gifting of their time, because what is going on here tonight adds to the collective, what we call consciousness, that there is an energy of peace that is moving out, that is real. And so we've got a season here. We gave you, our Mayor James Bond called it propaganda, but we wanted you to know there are activities over the next 64 days that can help support peace. And one of the things we did for peace at Seaside on Sunday, I encourage you, is we took rocks. And everybody just wrote the message of peace on there. And there's a basket out there, and you can write peace or whatever. And we asked you, just place it somewhere. Someone shared with me today, they placed it in the hospital courtyard, and they were watching, and somebody came up, and they picked it up and started crying. It's like we're secret agents, just placing these messages of peace down somewhere. You don't say who it is, where it is. You put it in front of an office. You leave it in the park, and it's a rock, so it's nature. And somebody's going to walk along, and they're just going to see this message of peace. And they may pick it up, and you may touch their heart in a deep way. But to launch this evening in an appropriate way is the mayor of Encinitas. Has been a dear friend of Seaside since we arrived. 15 years ago when we moved up here from Del Mar, the mayor at that time was a guy, I couldn't believe it, by the name of James Bond. He came in and we started off in the old brewery across from the Potato Shack, and we brought a new spirit to 2nd Street there. And James was the one to cut the ribbon, and he has been our champion and our partner for 15 years. And tonight he is here to read a proclamation for peace. I want to give you a rock, put it on your desk. Remember peace in all things. We love you. And thank you so much, Jim.
It is so difficult to follow Christian anywhere. Huh? I mean, he's just like someone turns a spigot on and goes, what? Forever and always. And what's bad is it makes sense. Early on, I'm a very basic kind of an essence person, and I listened to what I thought was a very eloquent opening prayer, and what I came away from that was Christians saying for us to ask ourselves, who the heck do we think we are? Do we really know more than we think we do? Or are we more important than we think we are? Who are we? Why aren't we looking to help others and to help someone that is a much higher force than ourselves? And brothers and sisters, if there was ever a time for a peace period, that's probably it, isn't it? It's really a tough time everywhere. Not only that, gas is going to be $5 a gallon. But I do have, and I just wanted to add on to what Christian said. It was one of the very first things I did as mayor back in, whatever it was, 15 years ago, 94, 5, 6. And it was interesting because I thought they were St. Germain's, you know. I went into St. Germain's and I said, no, the place is behind. I said, is that the church? And they said, yeah, it's a church back there. Well, anyway, you've come a long way. This is a wonderful building. You've got a wonderful ministry, and certainly this evening is a wonderful evening. It's always good to see a diversity of beliefs, religions, cultures, whatever, come together in a united way. We need to be aligned pretty much in the same direction, not exactly, not on the line, but kind of moving in the same direction, not pulling against each other, not rowing against the others in the boat. And I think it's wonderful to see this kind of thing happening. Now, I've got a proclamation. You'll have to bear with me, but people worked really hard to make this proclamation what it is. But we in government don't know how to write one without a lot of whereas. And when eventually I get to therefore, you'll know we're pretty well near closure. So seriously, let me start. Whereas the city of Encinitas, the state of California, and our entire nation continues to confront the challenge of violence in the form of hate crimes, brutality, domestic abuse, and other forms of inhumanity. not to mention an occasional war, conflict. Whereas an awareness of nonviolent principles and practices is a powerful way to heal and transform our lives and communities, to recognize the dignity and worth of every human being, and to promote peace and harmony among all people, regardless of race, color, culture, language, faith, age, gender, sexual preference, or other apparent differences. And whereas the principles and practices of nonviolence are epitomized in the lives and the work of two international leaders, Mahatma Mohandas K. Gandhi and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And January 30th marks the 63rd anniversary of the assassination of India's Mahatma Gandhi, and April 4th, 2000, marks the 43rd anniversary of the assassination in America of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And whereas a season of nonviolence will kick off and culminate with the observances at the United Nations in New York City and observances in hundreds of cities around the globe during the period between January 30 and April 4th, where groups throughout the United States and the world will sponsor projects, programs to create greater awareness and consciousness of the principles and practices of nonviolence, including symposia on interfaith, interracial healing, days of dialogue, prayers and meditation, artistic and cultural events, essay contests, and special activities for children. And whereas, we're closing in on, these events give us all a great opportunity to focus the hearts and minds of our citizens on nonviolence and recognition of the celebration of a season of nonviolence. Now, therefore, I, James Bond, Mayor of the City of Encinitas, along with all City Council members, do hereby declare the period from January 30th to April 4th a season for nonviolence in the City of Encinitas, and urge all our citizens to support programs and projects conducted in the spirit of nonviolence during this season, and honors the organizations of these activities on their commitment to world peace and global harmony. Good on you. God bless you. I guess since this is Christian's house, we'll give him the proclamation.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, great. Greg and Gavan from Temple Soel.